Right, okay, let's try out this game. I have no clue 100% what it is. It's called Stanley Parable. Apparently there's a narrator or something that comments on everything I do.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Interesting.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard.
Sounds
Orders
much like
came
my
to
life.
him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Greatest life ever.
Was happy.
Insane.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something
It's what
was
you call
very
a day
clearly
off.
wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so I'm taking it a day off. What are you meant to do here?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
It's time to
Stanley
go home.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Go to the meeting room. What the fuck is the meeting room?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
What am I meant to do? I don't even know the fucking controls of this game. Where am I going in?
When
There's a
Stanley
key.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a baby on a toe. When you want to play, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh fuck, I'm going right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ooh, a lounge. Is this...
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yeah, it would be handy if you could get a drink. How do you leave this building?
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
It is in my time. This is like a day off. Well, it is a day off, clearly.
At
no one's
this
here.
point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
I love this narrator already. It's only been a couple minutes in.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Maybe, quite possible. It's a time, anyways. Well, people should be here. Unless it's a Sunday. Right. That's my narrator friend. Okay, so maybe let's just hide in the corner. The Journal of Exposure to... No. Journal of Extended Explosive to Lounge Day 47. What is it? I'll maybe come back and read this and get fucking... I didn't think I could read some things in this. Yeah, law firm. Lovely. But everyone upping and leaving, they haven't really cleaned this place up, I guess.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room, and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Ooh, what's this?
Stanley was so bad at
tables.
following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Fired. Many years ago. You get that in this thing.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What the fuck is he on about? Who's waiting? Who's waiting? Forklift. Enter. Nope. What the fuck is this? Oh! Jesus Christ!
Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to
Holy
her.
shit, I got
If you
scared.
can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Dude, seriously, you just freaking should have warned me about this. Show the narrator. Okay, the phone is answered. What's going on? Where am I?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Jesus Christ, you
Oh, come
freaking
on.
dick.
Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
I
I'm trying
did,
to make a
but
point here,
Stanley did.
I'm trying to get you to
But
see
Stanley
something.
had a wife.
Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Are you the not?
Sorry, but you're my story now.
Oh my god. This guy's like a fucking dictator. Oh shit.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
I don't want to play this game. The death of a man. I don't want to play press 0. No. Screw you, I'm not pressing it. Just no. The death of a man named Stanley. I thought this game was about the life of Stanley.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
This is getting press. Wait, what?
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work.
No, I'm
One
locked
might
in a
even feel
room.
sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
No, I'm locked in a room where you have constantly locked
But
me
in
up.
his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures.
Let me
From
out.
behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown.
Let me out.
Fantastic discoveries of new
Let me out,
lands.
you
It
freaking
was wonderful.
mannequin
And
doll.
each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press B to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
This is not going so well for me today.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Wait, what?
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room
now
with
I think I know
monitors
what's
and
going
mind
on.
controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
He's forcing me to push buttons. So if I push... try 5. Okay, so I have to push 4. What a fucking dirty life Stanley has.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Shut up. I don't have a wife. You told me I didn't have a wife. Well, no, that Stanley didn't have a wife. At all.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. Will he let me free if I do not push it? Mr. Narrator Man, will you let me free? Let me free. I want to be free. Looks like there's no way out of this, so I just gotta go along with this fucking please press whatever button.
You see?
Oh.
Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Easy, give me a fucking mirror.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
There's a door. Let
Perhaps,
me free.
Well, maybe this time you'll see.
Let me free.
Maybe this time. And I tried again. And
Please
Stanley
die.
pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button.
What? What?
And
Ah! What? What's going on?